Today, we're unpacking some incredible new tech that puts powerful AI right on the battlefield. It's a brand new device called Nomad, and honestly, it's designed to completely flip the script on how intelligence is gathered when it matters most.
So let's just dive right in. Put yourself in a high-stakes, high-pressure situation for a second. When it comes to information, what do you think is the single biggest challenge you're facing?
It all comes down to this. It's about being swamped by this absolute flood of data, of chatter, of just pure noise. And somehow, in the middle of all that chaos, you've got to find that one critical piece of information, the signal. And you don't have hours or even minutes. You need it instantly.
And that really gets to the heart of the problem. We're talking about a modern battlefield that is, more than anything, a battlefield of data.
Now, there's a technical term for this whole process: communications intelligence. It's really just the crucial job of taking all that raw data, voice recordings, text messages, whatever, and turning it from just a jumbled mess into something clear, understandable, and most importantly, something you can actually act on.
But here's the thing. This isn't just a problem for one team in one specific place. No, this is a global challenge. Technology is moving so incredibly fast that being able to sift through that data in seconds, well, it's not just a nice to have anymore. It's an absolute necessity. So you might be wondering, if this is so important, why is it so ridiculously hard to do? Well, that brings us straight to the biggest roadblock of all, the human bottleneck.
I mean, just think about what you're up against. First, there's a worldwide shortage of the expert linguists and analysts you need to make sense of this stuff. Then there's the relentless demand for intelligence, right now, in real time. And you often have to do all this while you're completely cut off in what they call a communications-denied environment. The hurdles are just immense, especially when you remember that every single second can be the difference between life and death.
So with a problem this massive, where do you even start to look for a solution? Well, this is where that new piece of tech we mentioned comes into the picture: Nomad.
Okay, so this device comes from the international defense company Babcock, and it's a pretty big deal for them. It's actually their very first product that is fully 100% powered by artificial intelligence. It was just shown off at the big DSEI Defense and Security Conference, and it was built from the ground up to tackle these exact problems head-on. All right, so how does it actually pull this off? Let's break down what it really means to put this kind of powerful AI right there on the front line.
The whole process is this really slick 4-step cycle. First, Nomad just sucks in all the raw data from the environment. Then, its AI immediately gets to work cleaning it all up, filtering out all the static and background noise. The third step, and this is crucial, is processing. It transcribes and translates whatever it heard, right there on the spot. And finally, it delivers that intelligence, now clean, translated, and understandable, straight to the user, all in real time.
And that brings us to what is probably the most important feature of Nomad, this concept of the tactical edge. What that really means is that the device does everything by itself. It doesn't need an internet connection, it doesn't need to ping a cloud server, and it definitely doesn't need a link back to some command center miles away. All of that work, the collecting, the cleaning, the translating, it all happens right inside that one device. It's completely independent. The tech is impressive, for sure, no doubt about it. But let's pull back for a second and talk about the real-world impact. Why does this actually matter so much?
You know, this quote from Neil Massell, he's the CEO of Babcock's Mission Systems Division, I think it just says it all. The whole point here isn't just about processing data faster for the sake of it. It's about giving the people on the ground the power to make those critical life or death calls, especially when they're totally isolated and under unbelievable pressure. I mean, just look at the comparison. This is a massive leap. Before, you had this slow, manual process that was completely dependent on finding a rare human expert and hoping you had a solid connection back to base. Now, with Nomad System, you've got real-time, AI-powered intelligence that works all on its own, right where you need it. It's a complete game changer. And, a device like this isn't just some one-off gadget. It's more like a signpost, pointing to where the entire future of intelligence is headed. And if you look at Babcock's strategy, it's pretty clear that Nomad is just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. They're building their own in-house AI team and really leveling up their expertise. It's all highlighted by the fact that they recently joined the UK's Sovereign AI Industry Forum, which is a collaboration with NVIDIA.
So the goal here is way bigger than just one product. It's about building a nation's own independent AI capabilities for both economic strength and national security.
So, we've seen how a single device like Nomad could totally rewrite the rules of intelligence gathering, putting an incredible amount of analytical power in places it has never been before. And that just leaves us with one final, huge question. As artificial intelligence officially joins the front line, what boundaries, technological, strategic, and even ethical, is it going to break next?